and bundled to an awaiting Subaru vehicle while Njagi was forcefully abducted on the fateful day at Mlolongo town while on board a rainbow bus heading to Kitengela from Nairobi. Now, it was an abduction that shocked the countries. Let's listen in to reactions from Kitengela after the return of the three abductees.
Tumekuwa na wakati mgumu, watoto tunajua wako wapi. Tunashukuru Mungu, asubuhi ya leo tumepata habari wamepatikana Kiambu wakiwa hai. Na wana habari zaidi wamekuwa wakitutembelea hapa, wanatutia moyo, wanatuongelesha. Washukuru kwa hiyo kusika kwao.
Nimefurahia siku ya leo asubuhi kupata ripoti kwa wenzetu Ashir na brada yake Jamil wamepatikana wakiwa hai. Na ninashukuru serikali, asante sana, na Mungu aliye juu aweze kutusaidia sana ili tuweze kumaliza hii maneno yetu kwa njia yenye inatakikana.
Ndugu yangu Jamil Longton, Aslam Longton wako alive, wamepatikana. Mimi napongeza, nafurahia sana. Furaha sana kubwa sana kwa familia kama sisi.
Walipotea mwezi wa jana na wameweza kupatikana wakiwa uhai, na hiyo ni shukrani kwa Mungu, na tunaambia tu Mungu asante.
Mtu akililia haki, hii njia ya serikali kunyanyasa wananchi iachane nayo. Hatuogopi. Mtu kama kuna makosa pelekwe kotini, sio mtu kufichwa.
Right, now away from that, controversial Deputy Inspector General Administration Police, that is Gilbert Masengeli, has now tendered an apology to the High Court after being found in contempt in a case related to the disappearances of 3 Kenyans. Masengeli, who at the time was acting Police Inspector General, had been sentenced to 6 months in prison, a sentence which was later suspended for 7 days to allow him to purge the contempt. Now, in an affidavit filed on September 20th, 2024, Masengeli admitted to missing court hearings citing operational challenges, including his involvement in security operations in northern Kenya as well as the coast region, as the primary reason for his absence. Let's listen in to what was happening in the corridors of justice before they took a break. Of course, now the court session started today morning with a little bit of action that was experienced there between the Attorney General and also the a lawyer, that is former Law Society president, that is Nelson Harvey, a little bit on which exactly the direction this particular case is supposed to take, as he was seeking to have his sentence suspended. Now, away from that, a young mother is suspected of killing her 1-month-old child in Membli, Ruiru, Kiambu County. Now, residents say the unidentified woman went cannibal on her son, killing him, leaving her with blood all over her mouth. Now, the woman was arrested and the body of the child was transferred to Kenyatta University Funeral Home as investigations continue. Now, the caretaker of the building where the suspect lived observed her depression and financial struggles, suggesting postpartum depression as a possible motive. Frederick Murunga, the caretaker, disclosed that the suspect's husband left days after she gave birth to their son. Police are investigating the incident, but no official comments have been released yet.
Nilikutana na manguo za mtoto kwa dustbin zikiwa na damu, na nikasuspect hizi nguo si salama, nikazitoa kwa dustbin nikaweka kando, na shughuli zangu nikaenda shughuli zangu. Sasa baada ya kurudi saa 4 ndio nipate chakula cha asubuhi, ndio nikaona mama mmoja wa mkaaji wa hapa ametoka na nguo zake na nguo kidogo kama towel, akitoka naye akienda kwa barabara. Sasa hiyo harakati ya kuvutana na yeye kufika kwa mlango yake, tukaona labda amerukwa na kichwa, tukashika yeye ili tuanze kumfunga. Tulipambana kuanza kumfunga mikono, sasa akaponyoka akaingia ndani ya nyumba. Sasa hiyo harakati ya kuvutana na yeye kufika kwa mlango yake, tukaona labda amerukwa na kichwa, tukashika yeye ili tuanze kumfunga. Tulipambana kuanza kumfunga mikono, sasa akaponyoka akaingia ndani ya nyumba. Kwa namna hiyo niliona nichukua hatua niende police station. Tuingie ndani na askari wale tulikuwa na wao. Tukaona mtoto amelalishwa vizuri kwa kitanda na kuna damu kwa kifua. Sasa tukaona huyu mama huenda kama ameua mtoto, ajifanye kuwa mwendazimu ndio asijulikane mambo yake.
Huyu mama mwenye ameuma mtoto ni youth, ni msichana mdogo sana. Ni Gen Z. Sasa unaona kama angepewa kazi, hata kama angeshikwa na hiyo angeuma mtoto.
Now, the Court of Appeal is expected to deliver a ruling on whether to suspend a decision by the High Court that invalidated the Social Health Insurance Fund. Now, the High Court found the acts to be unconstitutional on July this year, forcing the government to appeal, saying more than 7 million Kenyans registered under the National Health Insurance Fund will not access healthcare if the decision is not overturned. Now, High Court judges Alfred Mabea, Robert Limo and Friday Mugambi had given Parliament 120 days to make amends to the said act. The three-judge bench said Parliament should undertake adequate public participation by the Constitution before enacting the same act and amending the unconstitutional provisions. Now, Kenya's first eco-village and social innovation hub was launched in Kajiado County to address food insecurity, water scarcity and economic instability, among other challenges ailing the region. Now, the project aims to champion sustainable practices and community-driven solutions by empowering the community. The first ever eco-village in the country was welcomed by the community, believing the project will change the region.
Having been known for hardships and harsh climatic conditions, Kajiado County could be heading on a different trajectory as its story gets a different script on matters environment, the first eco-village in the country. Empower and Serve, a non-profit organization, has been at the forefront of equipping the youth of Kajiado with appropriate skills that will help transform the region.
We have a dedicated space where we'll be able to take in as many girls as possible to upskill them, build their capacity in terms of innovation, technology, entrepreneurship, making them ready to be reintegrated back into the community.
Kajiado's residents will benefit through accessing critical services such as healthcare, education and entrepreneurial training. With these skills in place, the community will greatly be improved.
We have women out there, and you know, the Maasai women have no property. Their only property is milk, so they sell the milk, the little milk they get, and they do beadwork, and sometimes they don't know where to take it to. So they will, it will be an advantage to them to go to the eco-village and be able to sell their wares there.
We have dedicated training spaces where we'll be able to offer specifically digital skills, entrepreneurship, among other skills. We're also combining that with experimental zone and also workshops where we are able to upskill and be able to prepare the young women and youth who are going through the programs into getting job.
Through collaboration and partnership with the community members, the project aligns with the needs and aspirations of the residents of Kajiado. Community leaders urged the residents to embrace the project as they said it would help them find solutions to their problems.
We've received good support from the leaders and the community. They have promised us to be part of this vision and be part of the implementation of all the projects that will be taking place on this ground.
Na support mradi ya MSAF, tunasema karibu, kujeni tu fanya kazi pamoja.
Anthony Kwemoi, K24 TV.
Right, days after Parliament approved the appointment of Douglas Kanja as the Inspector General of Police, who was sworn in on Thursday, youth leaders are now calling upon him to ensure reforms in the National Police Service, where vocal youth are targeted by the police. Now, following recent cases of abductions, killings and intimidation, Kanja has been called upon to embrace the youth as leaders of tomorrow. Led by Neema Sheikh, who won elections as the Vice Chair of the Commonwealth Youth Council, they are calling upon the youthful population to remain focused on ensuring good governance Sheikh was accompanied by KUSO President Anthony Manyara and Kenya University President Bonaya Rova, among others.
We are welcoming the appointment as young people, and yes, we want to tell the IG to be more, careful when handling young people in the next protest that will take place, yeah, for whatever means, because we know right now university students are on the verge of going to for demonstrations. So we need maximum protection and maximum support from the IG. Let him be handle students with care, because comrades' power is next to
God's power.
Comrades' power.
All right, away from that, Kenya will in 2025 host the East Africa Region Global Health Security Summit, a high-level event designed to tackle global health security challenges in the region. The summit, set to take place in Kilifi County from January 28th to 30th, will bring together world leaders, health experts, policymakers and industry stakeholders to enhance regional collaboration, fortify health systems and develop strategies to prevent, detect and respond to health threats like pandemics and bioterrorism. Organized by the Global Center for Health Security at the University of Nebraska Medical Center, Kenya Vision 2030 Delivery Board and Jumuiya Economic Development Secretariat, the event is supported by the Ministry of Health through the State Department for Public Health and Professional Standards. The summit's timeliness was emphasized for its role in boosting Africa's capacity to manage unforeseen pandemics.
And I know that is a conversation which is going on, but also a real threat. So this was a mere coincidence. This had been planned before, but nevertheless, it's a reminder of why this Global Health Security Summit is important for this region.
The region of East Africa is primed and positioned to be a global leader in health security and in establishing systems to defend against future emerging infectious disease, potential pandemic, and other health emergency threats.
Tamref International University, we are going to be developing curricula or educational programs around global health securities, and also specifically looking at the intersection of primary healthcare and global health securities.
Africa CDC and WHO have recently launched the Continental Mpox Response Plan, and so it is within this that we are supporting all the member states to address Mpox. You talked about the Mpox vaccine. So again, this is not really the only countermeasure that we have, but in terms of vaccines, we are supporting member states who need it, who have requested it, to obtain it from the various countries so that they can.
Now, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has once again differed with Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja on the issue of relocating Marikiti traders. Gachagua, who spoke while visiting and interacting with traders at the Wakulima market in Marikiti, said he will not allow it and called on the governor to have a meeting with the traders. He also dared those who are calling for his impeachment to bring it on. Let's listen in.
Niko hapa kumhakikishia ya kwamba nimemuuliza gavana kwa heshima, na mimi sina kiburi. Mimi namuomba akiwa kiongozi wetu hapa Nairobi, asikuwe mtu ya kugeuka watu walimchagua. Mimi nimemuomba na nimemwambia yeye akubali aketi chini na kamati. Hii soko imekuwa hapa miaka 30. Na hao watu wamesomesha watoto wao, wamefanya mambo yao. Imekuwaje siku tukitafuta kura hakuwa wanaonekana wako na shida? Imekuwaje kura ikipatikana ndio inasemekana ati wanaleta msongamano Nairobi? Siku mlikuwa mnatupigia kura, mlikuwa mmejaa hapa, hakuna mtu analalamika ati mlikuwa wengi. Sasa kama kura zilikuwa nyingi, watu wakiwa wengi, iko makosa gani? Iko makosa. Kwa hivyo mimi niseme, wananiingilia mimi, wakisema ati mimi natetea nyinyi, ati mimi ni mkabila, Hii soko ya Marigiti, hii soko ya Marigiti imejaa kila kabila ndani ya Kenya.
That's what we call high octane politics, right? Just the beginning of this as we head to 2027. Now, 15 minutes past the hour. We do want to take a break here on Newscast. Don't go too far. We'll be back with more stories.
Follow the champions on the home of football. Watch the latest Man City content exclusively. Full match replays, extended highlights, coaches' interviews.
The target is not to win the Premier League, it's just, okay, next game, try to win it, this is what we have to do.
Players' interviews.
In general, the quality has been high and it's been good.
Behind the scenes and more. Every